Last year, the Huddersfield Giants were unbeaten in their 28 Northern Ford Premiership League matches. They won the Buddies Cup and the league playoff final to go straight back into the Tetlis Super League. The players trained hard for a season that was to have its highs and lows, but Chairman Ken Davey was satisfied overall with the team's performance.
We had some very clear objectives in terms of wanting to be challenging for the top six. We knew that it was unrealistic to see ourselves winning the championship this season, but nonetheless we were determined to make a positive impact on Super League, and I believe we did.
The season, though, couldn't have gone off to a worse start. In the fourth round of the Power Gen Challenge Cup, they met Hunslet and lost a match they were fully expected to win. The Giants finally went down 18 points to 14. The players and supporters were shocked, and Ken Davey was well aware of the implications of the defeat.
I think Hunslet would have to be seen as our low point, not just of this season, but of all the seasons that I've been involved with the Giants this last 8 years, because we had such incredibly high hopes for the season, and then everything seemed to fall apart at Hunslet. There were also, of course, the financial implications, because one of the things we were hoping for was a good, positive cup run, which would have attracted even greater support to the Giants, and some much needed finance, but it wasn't to be, and so it was a black day.
The Giants needed to bounce back quickly, but this was Super League, and in their first game they came up against tough Lancashire opponents Warrington Wolves. In the end, despite a fighting performance, the Giants succumbed by 20 points to 8. O'Hare and St Hilaire scored their home side's 2 tries. Next up were the mighty Wigan Warriors, and despite another battling performance, the Giants lost their second league game in a row, going down 33 points to 22. On the day, there were 4 Giants tries from Wilkinson, Turner, Kalala and Gannon. It had been a tough start to their Super League campaign, and it wasn't to get any easier. The Giants met the Leeds Rhinos in late March, and again came away pointless. 42 points to 28 was the final score, with O'Hare, Wilkinson and Costin the try scorers for the Giants. played, 3 lost. And with St Helens due at the McAlpine next, everyone must have thought another defeat was on the way. But in a terrific match, the Giants turned in a superb performance to beat the reigning Super League champions by 36 points to 22. The Giants scored 7 tries. It was their first win against the Saints in 25 years. Sit back and enjoy one of the season's best performances. The win against the Saints lifted everyone at the club, including the chairman.
Even before that, we played Wigan and Leeds away, and both of those matches we felt we could and indeed should have won. So that when we came to play St Helens at home as the next tough match we had to do, we kind of believed in ourselves that we had it within us to win, and that belief, that self-belief, is what has enabled us to make the McAlpine, essentially Fortress McAlpine, throughout the season.
In the next game, Wakefield Wildcats proved to be extremely tough opposition. But the Giants, with that win against Saints under their belts, were in no mood to be denied. They ran out winners here by 14 points to 10, with tries from Gannon and Wilkinson. The next match was to prove even closer when the Giants visited Halifax. In the end, a last-minute drop goal by Brandon Costin made the difference in a 21 points to 20 victory. Steve McNamara, Julian Bailey and Marcus St Hilaire were the try scorers. The Giants' 3-match winning run came to an end when Castleford came to the McAlpine. The Tigers triumphed by 29 points to 16. The home side could take heart, though, from a battling performance and a first club try from South African skipper Jamie Bloom. Very little can be said about the Giants' next game against the London Broncos. Just over 3,000 fans witnessed a scrappy encounter, with the visitors coming out on top by 30 points to 22. March, Wilkinson, Turner and St Hilaire were the Giants' try scorers. A trip to Hull was next for the Giants, but they were to lose their third game in succession by 34 points to 6. It was another lacklustre display from Tony Smith's team, with former Hull player Stanley Gene the only Giants try scorer. The losing streak was to continue as the Giants came up against the formidable Bradford Bulls. It proved to be no contest as the final score of 52 points to 6 showed. Julian Bailey was Huddersfield's only try scorer. The Giants should have won their next game against Widnes Vikings, but a string of errors gifted the Lancashire outfit the game by 42 points to 30. Castleford Tigers handed the Giants their 6th defeat in a row at the Jungle. The scoreline suggested a close contest, but in reality, the Tigers were well worth their victory by 32 points to 18. Gene, Bailey and March were the Giants' try scorers. The Giants must have been relishing the visit of Halifax in order to halt their run of defeats. In the end they did, but only by the narrow margin of 28 points to 26. Roherty, Riley, Turner, O'Hare and Costin were the home side's try scorers. The Giants signalled a return to form in the next game with a 26-4 victory against Wakefield. The 5 tries came from Ruherty, Riley, Costin, St Hilaire and Bailey. The Giants travelled to Warrington for their next game, but in spite of leading with 10 minutes to go, they finally went down by 32 points to 28. Darren Fleary scored his first try of the season, with Gene, March and Costin also contributing. The Giants' topsy-turvy season was to continue when they upset all the odds to win a thrilling encounter against Wigan. The home side crossed the Warriors' line 6 times in a thoroughly deserved 32 points to 24 victory. The Giants' splendid form continued when they played Leeds Rhinos. It was the first win in 38 years against the Headingley outfit. The Giants played with skill, determination and passion to record a 30 points to 24 victory, scoring 4 tries in the process. Stanley Gene and Brandon Costin with 2 each. The Giants were now on top of their game. Must have thought they could make it 3 major scalps in a row when they went to nose the road to take on St Helens for the second time in the season. Sadly, they couldn't repeat their stunning March win and lost narrowly by 22 points to 18, with Saints scoring in the final minute. Brandon Costin scored the Giants 2 sensational tries. Former Giant and hero of last season's promotion campaign, Chris Thorman, led the London Broncos to their 2nd victory of the season over his previous club. The Giants returned to winning ways when Hull visited the McAlpine at the end of July. The final score was 30 points to 14. 5 tries, including a second of the season for Darren Fleary, wrapped up the win. The victory, however, was overshadowed by the announcement that coach Tony Smith was to leave the club, and he was soon appointed in a similar role at Leeds. Chairman Ken Davey explains the club's reaction to Smith's decision.
When we had the discussions with Tony, and it was apparent that he was not keen to stay, it was a disappointment. It would be silly for me to say otherwise. Subsequently, however, I believe we've been able to move on very positively, and we have appointed John Sharp, of course. That appointment was made immediately. We were certain that Tony was going to leave, and I'm absolutely convinced that with hindsight, that Tony leaving the club, even though he did great service, leaving the club, it was the right time. So he was perhaps more astute than the rest of us in seeing that himself. He continued to serve us with great loyalty through to the end of the season, and we wish him well at Leeds. But from the point of view of Huddersfield Giants and taking an absolutely selfish stance, I'm delighted that we now are in a position to have a fresh start with John Sharp and to kick on from the strong season that we've had in the season that's just finished.
If Smith's decision to go wasn't enough, the Giants faced the Bradford Bulls in the next game at Odsal. The home side ran out winners by 30 points to 16. The Giants' tries came from Costin, Fleary and Paul White. Making his Super League debut, White showed the fans an example of his searing pace. Off the field came the news that Ken Davies' late bid to take over Huddersfield Town had been ratified by the Football League. It was a decision that brought much relief to the Giants' chairman.
Obviously, we share the stadium with Huddersfield Town, and when they were in difficulties, that had potential difficulties for the stadium, because they were not able to pay their rent and meet their other obligations to the stadium, and that would have had a knock-on effect on the rugby club, because obviously the Huddersfield Giants would be vulnerable to any financial damage that occurred to the stadium. So I was very hopeful that a rescue would take place for Huddersfield Town, and that it would be one that would be completed quickly and effectively, and we would get a robust management back into Huddersfield Town. And that didn't happen, and eventually, of course, they went into administration. And as you might recall, the administrators issued a number of deadlines for people to come in and rescue the club, and no really serious bidders did appear. And so, quite frankly, it was the 59th minute of the 11th hour that I decided that the only way to resolve the situation was for me to make a bid, rescue the football club, and by doing that I would help the Huddersfield Giants achieve their objectives. And I do believe there are real synergies between the football club and the Giants, and of course the stadium as a whole, because we have two wonderful clubs with great histories who share a fantastic facility at the McAlpine Stadium. So the combined effect of those synergies, I believe, going forward will be very positive.
On the field, the Giants' next fixture was against Widnes. The game was a thriller, but in the end, the two teams shared the spoils in a 30-all draw.
Suspicions of a forward pass there, big shout from the Widnes crowd. Here it is with Stanley Gene coming forward, Huddersfield. He's kicked through. Some pressure on here, and it's been picked up. There's an error. It's been picked up by, I think, Marcus Saint-Hilaire. And it's Paul White back with a covering tackle there. He's done well. Still Widnes come. It's going to be a little kick through. Can Huddersfield field it? They have. It's taken well by Huddersfield in the in-goal area, and they'll look to play it quickly. And they have. There's no support. There's absolutely no support. He's going to take them all on by himself. This is Heffin O'Hare to go the whole length of the field, and he's done it. He's done it by himself. Unbelievable. What a fantastic try from Heffin O'Hare. It'll be a scrum to Huddersfield. White with a put in. Here's Stanley Gene running at the Widnes defence. Running through the Widnes defence and scoring a try. Trademark Stanley Gene try. Found the gap and punishes the defence. It's Ben Cooper. He's brought down by Daniel Frame. Now the ball with Stanley Gene, Huddersfield's danger man. Now it's back to Gene. He's made a little kick through. There's people advancing on the ball. Not sure what's happened. Huddersfield players are claiming a try. The congratulations are going on, but I'll hold my breath here for the referee, because I'd awarded the try myself last time. Nope, the referee's definitely giving this one now. So Hare to Blowham, Stanley Gene. Gene trying to work some magic in the middle of the field, and he's nearly got through again. Handling too quick there by the Giants. This is Riley. Oh, Riley's found a gap. He's straight through the middle, and he's put it down under the posts. Wonderful play from Paul Riley.
The The Giants kept their playoff hopes alive with a 10-try thrashing of Halifax in mid-August. It was a club record Super League win. Sit back and enjoy. Two more precious league points were won when the Giants overcame Wakefield for the second time in the season. It was a scrappy affair, but it kept the Giants in with a chance of a playoff place.
And the Giants have won the ball back. Now let's see what they can make out of this. There's Jim Gannon. 5 metres out from the Wakefield try line. Back to Turner, to O'Doherty. Here's Stanley Gene. Just a couple of metres short. O'Doherty will take the ball and go himself, and he's held up just short. Tap back to Darren Turner, he'll dive at the line. Can he get the ball down? Referee checks with his assistants and awards the try. He's done well to get the ball back out to Jamie Bloom. Just trying to find a way through. There's Ben Roherty. He's got the ball back as well. Back to Jamie Bloom. Here's Riley dancing through the defence. Just couldn't get the ball to Gene before he was brought down on the 20-metre line. And Gene's going to go himself. It's a good pass out to, I think, Darren Turner on the far side. Indeed it is Darren Turner. And Darren Turner has crossed the try line. Ball out to Jim Gannon. And there's plenty of room here for Huddersfield. And over the line they go. It's Jared O'Doherty, the number 7. Huddersfield to put the ball in with March. Here's McNamara. McNamara's going to score. He's over the line. Referee checks. Try given.
But the Giants' hopes of a playoff place virtually came to an end at Castleford in late August. Final score, Tigers 26, Giants 18. The Giants, however, kept their heads up and produced a rousing performance to beat Widnes in their next match. The score, 25 points to 12. The try scorers, Riley, O'Hare, Bloom and March. Two games to go, and the Giants were to disappoint their fans with a 25 points to 12 defeat at the hands of the Warrington Wolves. It was a sad end to what had been a magnificent home campaign at Fortress McAlpine. The try scorers here, O'Doherty and Bloom. The final game of the season, and another defeat, this time at London. It also saw the end of Steve McNamara's 14-year professional career. But for Chairman Ken Davey, encouraging words and much optimism for 2004.
We had those fantastic wins. Who could ever forget Brandon Costin's last try as we were playing Leeds in the last minute, and then the wins over Hull, over Wigan, and of course the one that started it all was St Helens. I have been told that it's the best season that Huddersfield Rugby League Club has had for 40 years, and I think it's one that all the supporters and everyone connected with the club can be justly proud. I'm determined that we don't make silly promises and raise expectations unrealistically. However, I do believe that we are going to kick on from last season, and I believe that over this coming 3 years we're going to see some incredibly exciting times down at the McAlpine, and we shall see the Huddersfield Giants moving towards our declared objective of becoming one of the major 3 clubs in Yorkshire, namely the Huddersfield Giants, Leeds and Bradford.